Good morning and welcome to the morning show with myself, Kelly, and my sister, Barbara. Your daily dose of what's good in a world where everything seems just a little bit manic.
I know, it's Mindful Mondays, but not to worry, Get Active TV has you covered from 7:30 a.m. all the way until the evening. Starting off with your Get Active at first light with the seniors workout. So, gonna get grandma and granddad working hard.
Sounds good. Then don't forget 8:30, that's when we've got Rise and Shine at 3 p.m. as well. You've got your afternoon stretch. We've got a variety of yoga, Pilates, body weight workouts from Uppercut and House and all those other great people.
Then at 10 o'clock, of course, you have your favorite sisters to keep you company for an hour, bringing you comedy, all the facts, life hacks, some really great guests coming on as well.
And then at 12 p.m. there's also In Your House with Raj Kumar. Before 8 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we've got What You Cooking with Ben Logan.
And then you finish off your evening nice and easy with John and Duncan at 9 p.m.
So much fun coming your way, guys. And of course, with restrictions being eased slightly on a few things, which we'll get to in just a moment, obviously it's going to be a great week ahead. But first, let's take a quick look at the numbers and see how the weekend happened for us. On Friday, we had a total of 932 cases. Saturday saw 447, and then it dropped, or rather it came back up on Sunday to 657, but 13 community cases, 18 work permit holders outside the dormitories, and 626 in the dorms, bringing us to a grand total of 18,205. Now, I know it sounds like a lot still, but we are actively testing, and even those with mild symptoms, those are the ones who are spiking our numbers a little bit.
I mean, and it's kind of been yo-yoing up and down a little bit, and I've been listening to different reports and what people have to say about it, especially the experts, the scientists, the people who know what they're talking about. And they say just because the numbers drop, it's not too much cause for celebration, because the numbers will go up and down, up and down. So let's not get overexcited, but it is nice to see that the numbers are dropping. I think it kind of lifts the spirits a little bit.
Correct. 4 weeks to go. What are you going to be doing in this final 4-week stretch? We'll get to that in a moment. But first, let's take a look at the services that have reopened.
Woo.
Okay.
Will be
Today
opening.
Well, it's the 4th. No, it's the 5th. As of tomorrow, TCM needle acupuncture will be back open for pain relief and management, which is a good thing, I know, for a lot of our elderly people as well. A lot of them rely on traditional Chinese medicine, and acupuncture is always a good idea if you've got aches and pains to ease up.
Although, to be fair, I do wish physios would open as well for pain management, because my shoulder is just, it's being really weird the last few weeks.
Touch wood.
Part of me's like, maybe I should go to a TCM.
Well, touch wood, there are rumors that some of the physio practices are applying for exemptions. So fingers crossed they will get those through. And the moment we hear of physio places opening up, we'll let you know which ones that we know are definitely open and have those exemptions.
Nice.
Then,
now, as of the 12th of May, Kelly was so happy when she heard about this one. Hair salons and barbers will be open again, but again, it's for limited services. So you can go in, get your trim, 30 minutes tops, get in, get out.
So basically, as of the 12th, you're going to see me on the 13th, and I'll have like a nice blonde mop on top, but then my sides are all going to be brown.
Yeah.
Oh well, the roots will still be showing, but it means that my hairstylist, Ange, doesn't kill me, because there was a point over the weekend where I was like, okay,
I'll do it myself.
I have shears, I have a husband at home, let's do this. And it seems like everyone on my Instagram decided to poll that Justin should be cutting my hair.
Yeah, I was part of that. That will be hilarious.
Okay.
It also means on the 12th that confectionery cakes and desserts for takeaway and delivery will still be open. But of course, I know for a fact that the one question on everyone's mind when they made that statement was, is bubble tea going to reopen?
Well,
we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out. But if you are craving bubble tea, remember, you can actually get koi from grain.
That's true.
That is true.
That
is true. They've also opened up retail laundry services on the 12th, that is. Retail of pet supplies as well. So for all those of you pet mamas and parents, then at least you know that you've got access to all the things that you need for your little fur babies.
Fur babies. I never understood that term. Anyway, moving on to the good stuff. Every day we have some epic giveaways just for you guys who are tuning in with us each morning. The mechanics, super simple. Like and follow the Get Active TV Facebook page, share the morning show with us on your page, and comment with a simple answer to a question that we pose to you. Now, we want to trigger your thinking, make sure, we don't just want you to comment for the sake of commenting, but really think about it.
So I want to know what it is you are going to be doing with the final 4 weeks of Circuit Breaker. This is your final opportunity to do something at home that you would normally never get the time or chance to. So for me, I want to see how ripped and shredded I can get in the next 4 weeks. So I'm going to clean up my diet. I'm going to make sure I'm working out every single day on top of prepping for the show. And I'm going to see how good I can get a shape I can get in myself in the
On top of being a mum, on top of
managing the household,
making meals, and everything else. Cool, have fun. I'm going to aim a little bit lower, even though I clearly have fewer commitments. Well, I've got to be a good daughter. I've got to prep for the show. I've got to...
So what are you going to do?
I'm going to try and work on my headstands.
Okay.
I'm not going to be too ambitious and say handstands, because that's a lot of work. But headstands. I feel like getting up into a nice headstand... I'm not going to do it here because we don't have solid walls, but yeah, I think it would be quite interesting to see the progression.
So tell us what it is that you guys are going to be doing with the final 4 weeks of Circuit Breaker.
And you'll be able to get
a $50 voucher to the masses, which is actually a great way for you to then go and get that voucher and then go and spend it on Mother's Day.
They have Fan on the menu now. Yeah,
it's good.
Just PSA, putting it out there, Fan.
Alrighty, so we're going to take a short break. When we return, we've got our resident little pocket rocket, Wany Misban, joining us in to help us stretch our hip flexors and our quads. This time we're going to be using a ball. So in the break, go grab a ball, tennis ball, golf ball, whatever you have, and we will see you back in a couple of minutes right here on The Morning Show with Kelly and Barbara.
Flexing my quads.
Step right up, draw the next card. You're one of the brighter animals, so get along with everybody else. Is this ship sinking? I've been thinking. Not a long time to get along. Always sinking. I've been thinking. Been a little time to get along. Wake up call, throw the next up. Be one of a kind, original. Don't be another sign of the times. Fight. Wanna know the secret? We get on. Wanna know the secret? We get on. Try to find the feeling we belong. It's all for one and all for fun.
Welcome back to The Morning Show with me, Kelly and Barbara. But Barbara is not here, as you can tell. I've exchanged her for Pocket Rocket Wany Misban. Wany, thanks for coming back on the show.
Thank you.
I really enjoy having you here because you always find these little props that we have at home to make sure that we are getting a bit of a stretch.
Yes.
But before we dive into the stretch, you're fasting.
Yes, I am.
Ramadan at the moment. Can I just maybe explore the effects of Ramadan? Because everyone's working out probably a lot more than they would typically during Ramadan. Is there some sort of guideline on what you should or shouldn't be doing?
I think the key thing about fasting during, or rather working out during Ramadan is timing.
Okay.
Because thirst is definitely one thing that you want to be very mindful of. Don't want to get too thirsty. So I used to actually run right after a breakfast. Sorry, not breakfast. After the morning breakfast.
Yep.
And depending on how much I push myself and how much I sweat, then that will affect the thirst in the later part of the day.
Yeah.
So now what I've changed is to actually time it to break it down to maybe two parts of the day where I will train, maybe in the midday for 30 minutes, and right before breaking fast will be about 30 minutes or an hour. So I'm teaching you like
maybe
an hour.
Exert more in the evening because
yeah.
you can then
More
have a drink afterwards.
Yes, kind of. But you at the point of time also, it's the last hour your body's already used out the glucose and you're kind of shaking at certain points already. So you just need to know how much to push yourself. So I recommend to do about 60 to 80%. So
Okay.
don't go 100%. But of course, I mean, this is not the point of time where you want to look for personal bests, personal records. Not
Just
really.
take it easy.
Take it easy.
Take it
yeah.
easy. Just be a little bit
So
mindful.
many things you can still do. You can still do HIIT. It's not an issue. And there's a lot of the Malay Muslim, or rather I would say just Muslim trainers out there who are still training and teaching.
Yep,
at
I
this time.
trained with one the other day, and
There you go.
I thought it was fantastic. Okay, so then one thing you can definitely do is stretching. What are we going to be doing today?
So the first day we did was foam rolling.
Yes.
So my voucher. Last week we did the stick. So today we're going to use a ball.
Okay.
So usually it's a lacrosse ball.
Okay.
But
That was a terrible throw, Mimi. She was like, "It'll be a great idea. I'll throw it to you on set." Ouch. Okay. All right.
Great throw.
Yeah.
So I've got a baseball. So usually it's like a lacrosse ball. So you've got a tennis ball
I've
with
got a
you.
tennis ball.
So baseball is softball. Softball is actually the bigger size, right? Those are actually comfortable, and it depends on the size of the ball itself, and also the density of the ball. You can hit different points of the body.
Okay.
So the golf ball is best for the foot.
Oh, yeah, I can
Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah, it's really nice though. Yeah.
It sounds like a little bit like torture. Okay, let's go for it.
So today we're going to focus on the hip flexors because I assume a lot of you are actually doing a lot of workouts and not enough stretching. So if you're doing yoga and mixing up with HIIT, that's great. But if you're not and you're not stretching enough, and even if you're seated at the desk all day, the hip flexors are actually going to be tight.
It's just shortening the whole day.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to actually target that.
Go on then.
Now, one of the key things is easy. This is quad. So
I'm going to ditch the shoes for
Yeah,
this.
please
Okay,
go
here we
ahead. I
go.
don't
All right.
wanna-
Okay,
yeah.
let's go.
So what we're going to look for, you know that six-pack line?
Yep. The one
Yeah.
that I don't have.
We all have it, but imagine that line
Okay,
going down.
the ones on the sides.
Yes,
right?
on the
Yep.
sides. And then you know the hip bone?
Yep.
Okay, so the you want to actually place the ball
Yep.
on that six-pack line,
Right.
which is in line with the hip bone itself.
Got it.
So we do it there.
Okay.
Okay, so we're not just going to press. The most ideal is to put all your body weight on it.
Does that mean we have to get down?
Yes, darling.
I spend so many of these shows like either in a
On the
squat
ground.
or lying on the floor. Okay.
So if the ball is too small, like sometimes you may want to actually prop yourself up with a block
Yep.
or a book,
Yep.
whatever it is. So mine is fine. We're gonna lay down.
Still got safe distancing between us, just so you know. Yep.
We're gonna completely rest.
Oh, right.
We're just gonna chill.
Okay, I
Yeah.
can chill. I can
Yeah.
do this.
So what we're gonna do is to breathe, focus on the breath, and allow the ball to kind of penetrate through, basically.
I can
So
feel.
you should feel the release
Yep.
of the hip flexors, so to speak. So one thing, once you feel like okay, it's good, it's relaxed already, what you're gonna do is to bend the knee,
Ooh.
okay, and then lift the leg up
Oh.
so it gets
Oh my
deeper.
goodness me. Oh my goodness me.
And then release.
And you really have to.
Breathe, Callie, breathe.
You really have to focus on like.
So what you can
Relaxing.
do, yes, and Kelly, what you can do, right?
Yes.
Squeeze the bum,
Oh.
squeeze your bum, and then do it.
Oh my goodness me.
So you relax. You get that relief of the hip flexors, but you get to work the glutes at the same time.
This is insane.
Yeah.
Like I cannot actually describe the feeling that my hip flexors are feeling right now. Like it's a very swan, for lack of a better word, it's swan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so how long would we stay in this position?
So the max you want to do it for is maybe about 2 minutes.
Okay.
So you release. This is not necessary.
Yep.
But if your hip flexors have been or your back sometimes, the low back has been aching.
Yep.
This is actually a way that you may want to release because the hip flexors or the psoas goes all the way to the back.
That's right. A lot of people don't realize that some of your lower back pain actually originates in your hips at the front.
Yep.
So the whole body is so interconnected, it's ridiculous. Okay, just one more exercise?
Yes, one more exercise that I love to want to teach is actually called
Okay.
the pretzel stretch. Should
Go
I
on
face
then.
you?
Yes,
Yeah.
you face
Okay.
me and you show me
So,
what to do.
so this is the leg I release, right? So I'm just gonna lay on my right, support my head, top leg out in front. I'm gonna lift the foot of the bottom leg,
Okay.
and I'm gonna twist. So by pulling this,
I don't
this
even know
gets
if
the
I can
quads.
get in that position. Okay.
This gets the quads,
Okay. So
and then as you rotate
lie down
and you
here.
turn your head,
that leg there.
you
Okay,
get to
very
open
good.
up your chest.
Oh, that feels nice.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
So the more you pull your thigh back, the more you can get your quads and also your glutes to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can chill here.
It's a very glamorous position.
I
you
know.
Yeah.
So
Fantastic.
sometimes you may support your head with a prop if you want
Yep.
to, like a pillow or something.
Okay, so
Yeah.
whilst I continue to stretch out the other side during our break, Wani, thank you so much for joining us. I'm just going to chill here for a
Yeah, go
little
ahead.
while more. We're going to go for a short break, but when we return, Barbara jumps back in and we chat with one of our good friends about their working from home situation. Don't go anywhere. This is The Morning Show with Kelly and Barbara. Welcome back to The Morning Show with Kelly and Barbara. a lot of you are at home,
That's
working from home, juggling the children, you're on Zoom calls all day. But what we'd like to know is, what has your home setup been like? I mean,
I
we
rejigged my entire room.
You rejigged your entire room. My entire living / kitchen space / dining space has become a giant working office.
As in where you can fit things in.
Yeah, it is getting a little bit ridiculous, but we've had a little bit of time to get into a groove, but there's always things that we can do to improve our home setup, because it looks like we're going to be here for a little while more.
Just a little bit. And given that it's Mindful Mondays.
Yes, exactly. So we thought we would bring in the experts. So we've got Vice President of Leapfrog Global and also Head of Armageddon, Wanda, who joining us from her home working setup. Wanda, how are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Not
We're
too
okay.
bad. We're
We're good.
okay. How's working from home working out for you?
It's different. It's a bit tough sometimes.
In what sense?
So I'm from Leapfrog, where we do all kinds of hardware. We sell things like monitors, keyboards, mice, speakers, basically the stuff you would need if you were working from home.
So surely you've got like
The perfect
the
setup.
perfect setup, like the best access to all the best equipment.
Oh, I've been so okay. So work from home has actually just properly kicked in for us because we're part of essential services. So only I think was sometime last week they decided to cut down on our manpower and then the number of manpower that's in the office. So then most of us had to start working from home. Yeah, so it's only really just started for us, but I'm getting my setup together as of like this week.
So tell us a little bit about some of the essential things that you deem are absolutely necessary when you are working from home.
So I work off my laptop. Definitely you probably would need like something with a microphone at home, because if you're using your laptop or your base mics, it usually doesn't sound very good. It's not clear. Yeah, mostly that. And then probably a good keyboard at home, because if you work off your laptop all the time, it's hard to type quickly and work quickly. So I got myself another keyboard to put up at home.
I was going to say, Barbara and her typos in the scripts have
It's
been...
not me. When you're getting used to a new keyboard that's not your laptop keyboard, it feels different and you get a lot of typos and you're like, look, as long as you understand what I typed, I think we're all good. Like how Rip became something else the other day. I don't
Ripper
know.
or whatever. Anyway, so going back to working from home, obviously, like you deal with a lot of customers who are trying to build their home setups. Are home setups expensive? Because there's suddenly a lot of equipment that people feel like they need to purchase, and
A lot of things are sold out.
yeah, a lot of things are sold out. So how does one go about building a proper home setup, and what does that look like?
Well, you really, so for me, because I'm working off a laptop, it's kind of different. I just bring my work home. But for a lot of our customers, like what I observed, there were many people buying monitors, and it doesn't have to be expensive. A good monitor can only cost you maybe 150 or so, 160.
Oh.
And then for a PC that's able to handle basic work, so Excel, Word, PowerPoint, things, regular programs you use for work, that will only set you back maybe about $500. So all in all, you probably will be looking at spending something like $700 to do a basic home setup.
That's actually not too bad, because I think in my head, when I was thinking about building an entire home setup, I was thinking sort of like the thousands of dollars. Now, Leapfrog also specializes sort of within your various brands that you have in making peripherals affordable for the masses. In terms of like mice, keyboards, and all that sort of thing, like what are people spending, and what's the threshold for that?
So what we've done is that to help out people who, don't have a home setup and really need one, we've started selling refurbished items on the website. So if you're okay with it being something that was used as a demo at some point, it can be just $5 for a wireless mouse.
$5?
It's like like the sample section of clothing stores.
yeah,
I'm
exactly.
like, yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, because otherwise it just goes to waste. We kind of just tossed it if nobody buys it.
That's
Keyboards also about there, like $5 to $10. You've got yourself set.
that's ridiculous.
That's awesome. And that's on the website itself.
Yeah, we have a refurbished section on the website.
And let's just talk about the impact of COVID on your business. Obviously, because you are an essential service, you're providing people with things that they actually do need right now if they're kitting out their stuff. How has your business been impacted by this whole COVID-19 situation?
So in terms of like sales, it's been about the same. Like we don't feel, when you look at the numbers, you can't see what's really going on. But when you look at the buying patterns, it's shifted entirely. So everybody's bought everything online because you can't go out. There's no retail stores open. We've had to kind of like shift our whole business because we used to be 80% retail. So now we are like 90% e-commerce.
Wow, that's a huge shift. And was that a difficult thing for you to do and pivot within a very short time frame? We're just trying to understand the sort of economic impact of COVID on our local businesses, because you are a local company.
I think for everybody it's a bit different. So I do know like some of them who were doing e-commerce in the first place, to them it's like suddenly, oh, it's just a booming business. But for us, because we used to do 80% retail, the way our office was structured in terms of the manpower, the warehousing, it was catered towards that. So now we had to kind of reorganize everybody. So the job scope, like thankfully my team was quite cooperative in terms of changing of job scope and doing things that they didn't used to do. So we kind of just shifted everyone from doing retail marketing to e-commerce marketing and e-commerce packing.
And in this transition, so you guys only really started working from home like last week onwards. Do you think it's really set in for you working from home? Have you faced any major challenges yet? Are there any distractions, or what are you trying to do to make sure that you can stay focused while at home?
It's hard because there's two of us working from home. You want to come in for a bit? Hey.
Are we gonna have an extra head pop in?
We've got two people working from home, so it's tough because like if I've got a call and we're in the same space, it doesn't quite work out. So we've got to take turns taking calls in the kitchen and things like that. I also have a dog at home, so she thinks I'm jobless or something. She
must be loving how much you're at home, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pets worldwide overall are just like really happy that everyone's at home all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, just to wrap this up then, if people are looking for peripherals, where can they go to get their hands on some of your stuff?
You can check us out at www.leapfrogglobal.com. That's with a single G, so leapfrogglobal.com. You can also check out Q10, Tomorrow IT, or Shopee and Lazada. We are listed on all of those platforms, so if we've got like some discount or whatever on all those platforms, you can find us there.
Fabulous.
Awesome.
You can put all your vouchers and coins to good use there. Well, Wanda, thank you so much for sharing with us about your working from home setup. If you are working from home as well, maybe you should just send us a photo. What does your home workup setup look like? Like, I'd love to know what your working from home situation looks like. Mine usually involves Sienna crawling all over my shoulders.
We're going to be taking a quick break, but when we come back, lots more mindful Monday shenanigans coming your way.
Step right up, draw the next card. You water the plant, we're animals, so get along with everybody else.
I love how this rush gear makes me feel. Every time I put it on, I feel super powerful. My training is super intense, so I need something like this that's gonna make me feel strong and ready to go.
Good morning and welcome back to the morning show with Kelly and Barbara. Now, just a quick reminder, if you want to get your hands on that $50 voucher from the masses, don't forget to comment and tell us, what are you going to do with the remaining 4 weeks of the circuit breaker? Are you going to learn a new kitchen skill? Are you going to learn a new exercise? Master something in that to-do list that you've never quite got around to doing. Now, part of Mindful Mondays, we like to talk a lot about what's going on in the business aspect of the world. So today I have with me the owner of the Ring, Ruchdi. Haja.
Yes.
Saying that right, yes. Thanks for joining us, Ruchdi.
Bonjour, Barbara.
Oh, bonjour. Yes, I am very bad at French. So tell us a little bit about yourself. How long have you been in Singapore? You know, the family. I mean, you've got a new baby.
Yes.
So congratulations on that.
Thank you very much. Yes, so arrived in Singapore in 2009. I was part of a project for a banking industry.
Okay.
So I'm from Monaco. And it was supposed to be a 1-month project that turned into 1 year, and now that turns into almost 11 years.
Wow. Okay, so you opened up the Ring, which is a boxing gym. How did you first get into boxing yourself?
So at an early age, around 16 years old, which was early in that time because boxing was not as democratized as it is right now.
Yeah.
So I turned into boxing to learn disciplines, learn to externalize a few things that I was only able to externalize during the classroom. So it helped a lot.
I see. So you were in Singapore, obviously you came on part of a bank, you said.
Exactly.
Right, so at what point did you make that transition from not working in a bank anymore to opening up your own gym?
Indeed, so it was a kind of coincidence. I always had the desire to open a boxing gym or to be part of the boxing industry because back then at home I was head of the boxing association. After the years, yes.
Okay.
A little known fact, but I was looking for shorts, boxing shorts, and we used to have a sporting goods shop in Robertson Quay where I used to live. So I go there and I try to check, and the shop is closed or has moved out.
Yeah.
And then I open 1 door, 2 doors, and then I bump into the Ring. So this space which was in at the Herencia in Kimiam Road.
Yes.
And I had this vision. I don't know if you've seen the movie, the Guardians of the Galaxy, where he puts his goggles and can see what happened in this.
Envision everything.
It was exactly.
Wow.
It was exactly
and
like that.
so I train at the Ring as well.
Yes.
And it's a beautiful space. You've got the high ceilings, you've got the Ring, and you've managed to partition it quite well. You've got your strength and conditioning area. You've got the area where the Muay Thai is held. You've also got the boxing area and the bags. How was it building up to, you know, creating this all-encompassing gym?
Of course. So the main thing was to create a flow of energy. So there's no partition. The only partition is the existing pillars, you know, from the building.
The structural, yeah.
So we tried to have a lot of energy flowing and being modular, because as you know as well, not only we having the ring boxing community as a gym, but we also have events.
Yes.
And we hold events in the gym. And so we had to think how can it be modular so that it can turn within an hour into an amazing, showcase for events.
Well, yeah, so that's what I wanted to ask you about. First off, did you, when you were designing the gym and the layout and everything, did you have that with events in mind?
So it was not events, it was more, not events for the public, it was more for the community, things that we would come all together. And at that time, Zul, who is our head of events, my first joiner, my first teammate, and he came with this friendly Fight Fridays, which was, first event we had about 15 people, including the team.
And it's massive now.
And now it's massive.
It's
indeed.
huge. Hundreds of people go down for this.
Yes.
What was it like, really? So you've got the friendly Friday.
Yes. FFF.
FFF, Friendly Fight Fridays.
Yes.
Okay, where there's no winner, no loser.
Exactly.
So, I mean,
You
let's be
remember.
honest, deep down, we
There's-
all know, like,
we-
if you've gone in, you're like, okay, I did nail this or I didn't. But then you've also got the ring
So we have
TRFC.
exactly, that's the pinnacle,
Yeah.
which is with our professional boxers. But before the TRFC, we have FFF.
Okay.
For everyone that wants to come in the community
Just give it a try.
exactly
Okay.
practice their skills. Then we have Elite Amateur, which we've done with the whole Singapore community, boxing community. So it's an open platform for our
Different gyms.
Olympic, exactly, different
Oh,
gyms.
okay.
And there is a decision at this point of
There's
time.
there's a clear, like, winner or loser.
Exactly.
Okay.
Then we have the ring white collar boxing. So
Yes,
for
that's
our white
the-
collars, yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
that's the one that's recently, over the last, I would say, 2
Exact.
years, 3 years?
1 year
that-
only.
Okay, 1 year.
Yes.
It's the fancy one,
It's
right?
the fancy one, exactly. It becomes like a show, you know, not only of the boxing, but everything that's happening around.
When he says show, he's not kidding. They've got the lights, they've got the really big MCs, they've got performances going
Fire
on.
eater, we have a lot of
You had the
things.
snake in at one point
Exactly.
as well.
Yes.
Not sure if that was okay. Yeah, so what was it like transitioning or rather evolving from purely just running a gym to having to manage and run all these big events as well?
So it was definitely challenging, but that was the best part of it. That was how our venture, we didn't design that to happen.
Yeah.
It came organically. It came, you know, with our just Friendly Friday to up to the professional boxers with, you know, the World Boxing Council involved.
Yeah.
And our coaches, which are also our pro fighters that can showcase and show how they are teaching, what they are preaching, how they can also showcase it into the ring.
Apply it.
With elegance, with humility, and with performance.
Definitely. So obviously, with everything that's happened in the last few months, a lot of businesses have taken a huge turn from being physically present to having to learn new things about being on the digital realm. So what were we know that a lot of gyms have gone online. What were some of the challenges that you guys faced making that transition?
The first challenge is that my coach are not actors. So the first time they turned on live, I remember they were shy, they didn't know how to pronounce, they were, but hey, they are fighters.
Yeah.
And challenge drives them, and they strive into challenges. And right now, I know that they are definitely actors.
Oh, there you go.
So that was
they're-
the first challenge.
They're comfortable.
The second is you're talking to your phone or to your camera. At that time, we had a very little setup, so it was phones. And you want to have that connectivity, you know, that interactions.
Definitely.
And this is what we are all missing. But we found out how to overcome that. So from just a phone with one screen, we came to a multi-screen. And then you can hear the people, you can see how they are behaving. And now that's when, you know, it's starting
We've
to be
evolved a little bit.
Exactly.
Okay. So you guys are going to be launching the Zoom
Exactly.
classes.
We are launching our Zoom classes. It will be free for our members, all our community. And you can have more details if you log into our website to see how you can join our Zoom classes.
And if, let's say, if I'm not a member of the Ring and I want to join these Zoom classes, also possible?
It's possible.
For a fee?
Yes, for a little
Okay.
fee. And
Little fee.
yes.
Everyone's working on little fees
a
nowadays.
little fee. And that fee will also go for a good cause.
Amazing. Now we've touched on the business aspect of things. Before we wrap it all up, I just want to touch on a little bit of the personal life. So you've got 3 kids now.
Exact.
How old are they?
So we have Ryan, 4 years old, Jay, 2 years old, and John Zion, which is just 5 months.
Oh. Well, congratulations on the new
Thank you.
baby. How are you and your wife handling everything at the moment, having to stay home with the kids, having to run a business?
It's like a rainbow at home. So first of all, my kids became my bosses. Just last Friday,
I think most parents can relate with that.
I was running a meeting at home, and I have the little one that comes and say, "Hey, Papa, can you go in your room because you're talking too loud?"
Wow.
Which is usually the reverse.
Yeah.
I will ask them to, but they are our bosses. First, also they are our inspiration. So we are teaming up with my wife to find, ways on how to entertain them, on how to become their teacher as well, teacher in life, teacher at home. And that's beautiful. And the last one, they are our therapists, because I've always put them into music. You know, music is flowing always at home. And when they are singing, when they are dancing, we are definitely not thinking we are in confinement. We think we are blessed to have them around.
Well,
yeah.
that's lovely. Thank you so much for joining us
You're
today.
welcome,
I think
Barbara.
that was
Thank
a
you very much
nice
for
little way
inviting me.
to end it. We are going to go for a quick little break, but we've got lots more when we come back. We've got Dawn in, I believe, and she'll be going through how to master those yogi poses. Stay with us.
Step right up, draw the next card. You one of the pack, we're animals, so get along with everybody else. Is this ship sinking? I've been thinking. Are we sinking? I've been thinking. Been a little time to get along. Wake up call, throw the next up. Be one of a kind, original. Don't be another sign of the times. Fight. Wanna know the secret? We get on. Wanna know the secret? We get on. Try to find the feeling we belong. It's all for one and all for fun.
Thanks for sticking around with us here on our Mindful Monday. How are you doing? Are you okay today? Obviously, we had a nice long weekend, and I think it's given us an opportunity to sort of reconnect with ourselves. We had lovely weather on Saturday, which meant that for some of us that we were actually able to get outside, go for a walk, actually spend time in the sunshine.
Yeah, I think Sunday might have been by far the longest stretch of sun we've had in a while.
Saturday, you mean?
No, Saturday was still quite short. It was very, very cloudy, whereas Sunday stayed bright for quite a while up until the evening.
True.
The clouds managed to hold off a little bit. I made some pancakes. I felt really proud of myself. It doesn't always look great. Actually, maybe I'll bring in the video tomorrow and we'll show you my pancakes, although they were kind of like crepes. I prefer crepes.
Crepes?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Barbara is still going to hone in on those culinary skills in the
working on
final
it.
4 weeks of Circuit Breaker. What are you doing? Maybe some of you want to work on, like Barbara, getting better at your yoga practice, all those poses that you want to do, looking a little bit more graceful. We'd
Not
love
sure
to
if
hear
this
from
is
you.
an actual pose, but
No, I don't think it's an actual
Okay.
pose. So if you would like to get a bit more graceful, tell us. We'd love to hear, to find out what it is you are doing to make full use of this time, because let's face it, we're probably not going to get this sort of time again.
Exactly. I mean, and 4 weeks is a long time. You know, if you've been thinking about this, a 4-week challenge that you've been meaning to do, but a lot of the time, you know, we spend a fair amount of our times traveling to work, traveling back from work and being at work. So now that all that time is now your own and you're at home a lot, you have that extra, I don't know, 1 to 2 hours to really get into something that might only take 5 or 10 minutes a day.
That's right. So we're now going to break it down for you with Dawn, who is actually going to help you on your practice if you are looking to improve your yoga aspect in your life. Today we're going to be talking about the low lunge, releasing that lower back tension, which a lot of us have and have been building up over the past few weeks sat at home as well. Let's take a look and let's learn how to break it down.
Hello and welcome to Break It Down, the time when we get to break down your favorite exercises and movements so you know the ins and outs, the do's and don'ts, and hopefully to make the movements a little easier or hopefully a lot harder for some of you. My name is Dawn, and today I'll be taking you through the low lunge. So all you need is a mat. Let's get ready to go. But if you do try this at home, don't forget to tag us at Get Active TV, or if you've got any questions at all, feel free to shoot us a comment and I'll be happy to help. All right, so let's come into the middle of your mat. We're going to have your right foot come step forwards, one big step. Now, if you find that that is difficult for you to do a big step without losing your balance, just have a chair or a wall handy, hold on to it, and then get your step forwards. And if you didn't get a big enough step forwards, you're going to just wriggle your foot forwards. And then cushion the back knee if you need to. I'm very lucky I've got fake grass under me today, so it's very cushy. But if you need to, put a towel under your knee, right? So it's less painful. We're gonna have your hands rest on your thigh, or maybe one hand on the chair or the wall or a table. And you're gonna slowly sink your hips forwards and down in the direction of your front heel. So square your chest, square your hips towards the front of the mat. Now look at my lower back, all right? You wanna avoid doing something like this. So just kind of collapsing around the lower back. Avoid doing that. It can get very painful for those of you who have existing issues with your lower spine. So keep your baby crunching muscles on and then start to lean forwards. How do you know if your baby crunching muscles are on? You just pretend somebody's going to punch you in your stomach. Good enough. Or you can hug a tree and then lean forwards. All right, so when you do this, it already helps you to switch on your baby crunching muscles, and it helps you to ensure that your inner corset, your inner weight training belts for guys, is switched on and protecting your lower back while you're at it as you sink your hips forwards and down. Why do we want to do a low lunge? Because it helps us to stretch the hip flexors, your deep psoas muscles, right? And this muscle actually connects from your lower back, runs across the front of your hips, and connects to the top of your thigh. When you stretch this band here, it helps to release tightness and tension around your lower back. Also, it's great for countering the effects of long hours of sitting. So as opposed to having your pelvis become stagnant, right? The area just closed in. This helps to open it up and facilitates more circulation as well. Stay there for about 10 breaths or maybe a minute. And then how do you get out of it? Hold your chair, hold the wall, or just slide your front foot in. And then we do the same thing on the other side. So stepping your left foot forwards. We're gonna wiggle if you need to. Hold your props if you have to. Cushion your knee if you have to. Shift your hips forwards once again. I talked about the lower back. Let's talk about the shoulders now. Shoulders unshrugged, armpits dropping down towards your waist, and then just sink your hips forwards. Don't forget, baby crunching muscles are still on. How do you make this movement a lot deeper? Keep shifting your hips forwards and down, to the point where maybe you can even come and touch the ground. All right, so if you have yoga blocks with you, great. Grab a hold onto them and help yourself go down lower. The further forwards you bring your hips towards your heel, the deeper the stretch you're going to feel to the front of your pelvis. And this time it's going to be on my right side. Whichever leg is behind, that is the one where I'm going to be feeling that stretch to my hip flexor. All right, so again, staying here for about a minute or 10 breaths. The reason why you want to stay there for long enough is to make sure that you do give the body a chance to get over its fight or flight mode, because the first thing it does is to want to protect itself when you go into a stretch. So it's going to tense up. Its first reaction is to tense up. And then as you stay there for long enough, it's like, hey, I'm not getting injured, I'm not in a dangerous situation, I'm going to start to release and just melt further into that stretch. Now slowly bring your weight back, slide your leg back in. So that is one of the ways that you can do your low lunge, otherwise known as Anjaneyasana in yoga. We're going to do the same thing again, but I'm going to show you another variation that's going to help you go into a slightly deeper stretch for that same muscle I mentioned. Again, step forwards, right foot. Wiggle if you need to, or just take another step forwards, right? Shifting your hips forwards and down, making sure that your inner corsets are on, your inner weight training belts are on. cushioning your knees if you need to. Now watch, my right leg is in front. So I'm going to extend my right fingers towards the floor and then extend my left arm up. And I'm going to continue reaching down towards the ground with my right fingers. Careful to make sure that my front knee stays above my ankle. So again, if you need to hold onto something like a block or a chair or a wall, the key is to just try to lean your weight towards the right side. I'm not going forwards. The moment I lean forwards, that stretch goes away. So be cautious to keep your shoulders over your hips as you lean to the side. Now I really feel that stretch intensify on that right side. So for those of you who do suffer from lower back tension, lower back pain, I do encourage you to do the low lunge on a daily basis. Not a regular basis, but a daily basis. In fact, a few times a day if you can. Again, we're going to stay there for about 10 breaths to a minute, making sure that you're also breathing in a way that facilitates you to relax. And then very slowly, we're going to come back up to the center. Go ahead and shift your weight towards the back leg and slide your leg back in. Coming back down onto your right knee. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Once again, left foot steps forwards. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Shift the weight forwards. Keeping your inner corsets on. Left fingers reach down. Right fingers reach up. And then we're going to extend and try to reach for the floor. Of course, if you can, go ahead and touch the ground. All right, but ensure that you're not collapsing around the lower back. The moment you do feel pain, your body's trying to tell you something is going on, something is wrong, all right? And then just back it off a little bit. Just go to the point where you feel the stretch. Good enough, all right? Holding it there. I'm going to stay there for another 2 more breaths. And it's really, really, really good and helpful for those of you with tightness around the lower back, like I mentioned. So feel free to repeat it a few more times throughout the day. And then very slowly, coming back towards the center, shift your weight back, maybe hold onto the wall, and then take a seat. So there you go, your low lunge, easy peasy. Thank you for joining me on Break It Down. It's time for a quick break, but when you come back, it's over to Kelly and Barbara once more. Don't go anywhere.
Step right up, draw the next card. You're one of the brighter animals, so get along with everybody else. Is the ship sinking? I've been thinking. Are we sinking? I've been thinking. Been a little time to get along. Wake up call, throw the next up. Be one of a kind, original. Don't be another sign of the times. Fight. Wanna know the secret? We get on. Wanna know the secret? We get on. Try to find the feeling we belong. It's all for one and all for fun.
Hello, and we're both going to go there. Good morning, welcome back to the morning show with Kelly and Barbara. We're both back with you, all stretched out. We've talked about a little bit about business today. We've also talked about working from home and how you can have the most epic setup as far as possible.
I know, it's actually ridiculous to think about all these little things that you could have to make your working life that little bit easier. But of course, it doesn't have to be expensive, and you can modify it at home as well. I mean, at the moment, my current worktop situation is a standing desk. So I stand at my kitchen counter, and I prefer to be standing because otherwise my hip flexors are just getting really, really tight. And speaking of which, we've actually managed to help you stretch out your hip flexors today. So hopefully if you've been sat down for extremely long periods of time, then at least now you know what to do to release and ease those aches and pains in your hips and your back.
Not gonna lie, I am thinking about getting a real chair because I was previously, well, I'm currently using one of the armchairs that we have on the balcony, and I put it into my room.
Yeah, sounds
but
comfy.
it's quite low. So I put a pillow on it.
So you're typing like
so
this.
I put a big pillow on it. So I'm sitting on the pillow, but then I kind of end up squatting on it instead. So I'm not just having normal tight hip flexors. I'm having like super tight squattable hip flexors.
I really want to see a photo of you at your workstation. Anyway,
I'll show you.
We've still got an entire week ahead of us for this show. So make sure you're joining us tomorrow because it is Trending Tuesday. And what better to talk about than food, nutrition, and maybe growing your own things at home. We've got Charlotte May coming in.
She's a nutritionist, she's a presenter, and
she's an all-around awesome human being. We've also got the Edible Garden City coming in to show us how we can grow our own microgreens from things that we have at home as well.
Much like the front of your house.
Yes, exactly.
Where you've just thrown stuff out and see what's started growing.
Exactly.
Pumpkins, anyone?
Don't forget, we've also got an Under Armour promo coming up on Thursday, a whopping 40% off on underarmour.com. Stay tuned for all those details. We will
start
only
putting things in your shopping bag.
Exactly. Start adding to cart now, but we will only be giving you that code on Thursday. So you have to stay tuned and watch the show in order to get that code. Alrighty, we are done and dusted for today.
That's right. We hope you have a mindful Monday and a mindful week ahead.
But whatever it is that you're doing today, make sure that you're staying safe, staying strong, and make sure you stay at home.